Double D. Thanks for coming on, buddy. Appreciate it. Western Pizza Guest Hotline. So,
absolutely.
We got to dive right in, man. I'm not sure if you heard the song that our producer put together here, but we were having some fun with Trevor Harris in his pregame media avails last week, saying, basically, we're the big dogs. And he's done talking about Nathan Rourke. Do you like that? Do you kind of like the level of intensity and him getting a little bit chippy with the media? Do you think that fires up the guys?
I mean, I love the confidence. I mean, at this point in his career, I mean, there's no need to take the humble route. I mean, you have you've been in Grey Cups. You've accomplished pretty much everything else that a quarterback can. So, and look, he has the team to back him up. It's definitely his time. I feel the exact same way. So I love the approach. I mean, I don't like being conservative. I mean, if you feel like you're the best team, and why not go out there and talk about it and be about it? And Davis Alexander, I'm sure, will do the same thing. He has been doing the same thing for Montreal with the little chippiness last week between himself and Willie Jefferson. So I love Trevor kind of going out the box a little bit and having this confidence. I've always known he's had it, but I'm glad everyone else is getting the chance to see it as well.
Yeah, to a certain point, it's probably a little bit of a chip on his shoulder, knowing that this is a guy who, we were just talking about it, he hasn't actually won a Grey Cup as a starter, and all people can talk about is this MOP Nathan Rourke. It's like, guys, shut up, I'm right here.
I don't think he was coming at it from that perspective. I mean, I just think that, especially in the playoffs, I think if this was earlier in the season, towards the end of the season, then Trevor would definitely tip his hat to Nathan. But, I mean, it's the playoffs. It's the Western Final. And it's enough about that. The regular season accolades have already been pretty much solidified. So at this point, Trevor's like, come on, let's just talk about this team. Let's talk about what we're doing, and let's not have to always, harp on what's going on somewhere else.
Well, let's shift over to Cory Mace. He took a few gambles in that West Final at Mosaic Stadium against the BC Lions. I mean, sending out the biggest one, I think, that most people are talking about today, sending out the kick team rather than going for it late in that game. He said he was just trusting his gut. It ended up working out for him, but you and I both know Rider Nation would have not been happy at all if it didn't go the Riders' way. How did you feel about him making that decision?
I thought it was a great decision. I mean, look, it's a huge game, of course, but you have to go with the statistics. You have to go with the percentages. And at that time of the game, you take points, and especially, this is the number one defense in the league. You have to lean on them. You have to go with your gut. He's a defensive coach, so I don't mind at all. I think a more gutsy call was the one in the third quarter where he hit where Trevor hit Schaefer Baker for a touchdown on third down. I think that was an amazing call by him, and and you don't hear much about that. And I think if he's going to take the blame for if it would have gone against him, you should definitely give him credit for that call in the third quarter as well. So I love it. I think that's just showing the ultimate confidence in your defense. And they forced BC to punt twice. So it's the right call, and I love the confidence that he has in his defense.
Definitely a lot of confidence in the defense, as you mentioned, but do you think that there is any level of, I don't know if protection is the right word for it, but Brett Lauther has not had his best season. And did he want to put that pressure on Brett to potentially get the game-winning field goal had he decided to go for the touchdown rather than kicking it in that moment?
You can't think about that. I don't think that even crossed his mind, what's going on, the kicking situation. It's all about analytics, and it's all about playing the percentages. That's what most coaches do. They learn from some of the greats. And, you can't just make a quick decision because you're in a big game. You have to always realize situations. There's 3 minutes left. You have the number one defense, plenty of time on the clock. As we all know, both teams had 2 possessions. So, it's the right call, and I know that if the Riders would have lost the game, we wouldn't be hearing the end of it today. But regardless of the outcome, I still would agree with the call.
Absolutely. Who would you consider to be the MVP of that game for the Riders, or even Riders and BC? Who do you think would earn that?
Oh, wow. I think you have to give it to Trevor. I mean, look, he didn't have his best game. There was a ton of throws. I'm sure he wished that he could have kept the guys up on a couple throws, or, there was one late in the fourth quarter where him and the receiver were kind of not on the same page, and it ended up being an incompletion to a wide open guy. But I think him making those second level throws late in the game when the pressure's on, driving 75 yards, hitting Emulus down the field, these are some tough throws. If you look at BC's defense during that drive, they're all sitting at 15 to 20 yards back. So for him to fit them in these tight windows, with the game being on the line and then throwing the slant at the end to Neal, I just think you have to give Trevor the nod in this game. He's definitely showed up when it mattered the most.
Yeah, that Tommy Neal touchdown was just a thing of beauty. Amar Doman does not agree. What do you think is going to happen there? Is there any way that the CFL can fine him for speaking out, saying that ball was on the ground? Like, is there going to be any punishment?
I think he may get a fine for that. I mean, as an owner, you just can't go against the refs. You have, I mean, I'm sure whatever picture you saw, you feel strongly about it being an incomplete pass, but you definitely can't second guess the refs, especially on a public forum like that. So I think there'll be a fine. I get that he's passionate. But look, I mean, I think the replay officials, and I even agree that even if the ball did hit the ground, it's just not enough there to overturn it. So you just have to give them credit. They made a great play, and I definitely don't think the owner should come out, especially on his Instagram stories, and talk about it being an incomplete pass. I didn't like that.
Especially when it's the blurriest still shot known to man. Like, that was just a brutal photo. But
yeah, I mean, like I said, it's just not enough. You don't have enough evidence to overturn it. It was called a touchdown on the field. And for you to overturn something like that, you have to have, you just have to have full evidence, and it just wasn't there.
Absolutely. Now the Riders, they're shifting their focus. Montreal Alouettes, Grey Cup in Winnipeg this weekend. What do you think the Riders really need to focus on cleaning up? What would be kind of your three things that they need to clean up after watching them in the West Final against BC?
Well, one, I would think it would be the run game. I think the Riders definitely need to tighten up on the run game. BC went away from it, but they were averaging about 5 yards a pop. And, Stevie Scott last game against the Riders, he went for 125. And I think the Riders definitely have to make sure that their front 6 or 7 is ready to go, and they can stop the run. If you can't, then you make it easy for Davis Alexander. You put yourself in second and short situations, and that's when you have to come up and play man coverage, and you'll see the best of Davis Alexander if that happens. Second of all, I just think that they need to shore up some things offensively. Communication between the receivers and quarterbacks. I think some plays there was miscommunication. You can't have that in a Grey Cup game. I want to see AJ Ouellette get more touches. I think that he showed that when it's inclement weather, he can be the treader. You give him the ball. I know he had one fumble, but you can't let that discourage you. Give him the ball. Let him get you in second and medium situations, and in inclement weather. The game is outside in Winnipeg. I think you'll see another cold, bad weather day, and you're going to need a guy like AJ Ouellette to put you in some manageable situations. So if they can just tighten up the run game defense, give Ouellette the ball, and get back with the communication, I think they'll be fine.
And maybe getting off to a bit of a quicker start. This has been a repeated story. All season, right? So getting out to a quick start, fast jump.
Yeah, that's easier said than done. I mean, look, these other teams are fired up. The Riders, they had home field advantage. You have to think of how hungry teams are when they play the Riders. I mean, everyone wants to beat us, right? So it's easy to say, well, go out there and make sure you start fast. Opening drive touchdown or points would be great, but these teams come out ready to go, and they're fired up too. So I don't care how it gets done. Slow start, fast start. As long as you win at the end, that's what it's all about. But of course, we would all love to see a fast start.
Davis Alexander, scary looking guy. If you're a Rider fan, 13-0 as a starter, but he is banged up with that hamstring. Do you think that's going to pose any problems for them? You think that the Riders are going to be able to neutralize him?
I think the Riders should be a little bit more aggressive than usual against him. If he shows that he can't be as mobile as he typically is, if he can't push off and be as strong as he is in the pocket, breaking tackles, different things that makes him as great as he is, then I think the Riders should put some pressure on him and make him move and see what he can do. You sit back and you rush 4. and you don't get pressure with 4, then you allow him to just sit back there and be able to pick you apart. He has a big arm, and from what I've seen this year, the Riders typically kind of struggle against QBs who have big arms, who can push the ball down the field. So if you give him time and you allow him to pick apart the defense and push the ball downfield, then I think they may be in trouble. So I would like to see the defense get after him a little bit more than usually. They're not known to blitz as much as the other teams, and maybe this is a game that they change that. So we'll see. But I'm sure whatever Coach Mace decides to do in this defensive staff, I think they'll have a great game plan, and they'll do what they need to do to stop Montreal.
And that game plan starts this week. Obviously, they are in Winnipeg. I believe they would have just landed. They had a send-off at Mosaic Stadium this afternoon, but they're all away from their home facility for a week. You've been there, Darian. You know exactly what this is like. You're in enemy territory in this case, even though Winnipeg isn't in it. They are at Princess Auto Stadium. They're away from home, away from family. You have less control over, your sleeping schedule, maybe the food that you eat. How does a player get past that mentally and physically?
Well, you just have to treat it like a training camp / long road trip scenario. I think that, you're not going to be in the comfort of your own home cooked meals, the different things that come with home games. So you kind of have to shift your mentality to this just being an extended road game. You're in the hotel for a week. You're in smaller rooms. You have to break things off. You have to deal with fans everywhere. It can be a distraction. So, look, Coach Mace has been to tons of Grey Cups. I think this coaching staff, with being players, Marquay McDaniel, Josh Bell, a couple of other guys, Edwin Harrison. These guys are veteran players. They've been in Grey Cups. They've been in these scenarios. So I'm sure they'll lead the guys in the right direction.
Yeah, it's and then you also have to deal with the stupid media members who ask you dumb questions, right? It's definitely going to be a bit of a challenge for them this week, but that's what they play for. And both teams, have that disadvantage, I guess, for lack of a better term.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, they both have to go through it. It's the same thing. I'm looking at this as a home game for the Riders. I think Rider Nation will show up. It'll be 80-20, 90-10, hopefully, Rider fans. So it'll be a home game. The crowd noise will be an issue for Montreal, and hopefully they can cause some penalties and make it tough on this Montreal offense.
Yeah, it's going to be one hell of a game. But there was one thing that happened since you and I last spoke, Darian, and I would love to get your take on this. Ryan Dinwiddie off to the Red Blacks. What thoughts?
I love it. I mean, look, when we were teammates in the late 2000s, we talked about this. He always wanted to be a coach. He always wanted to be in control. And he's shown he's a Grey Cup winning coach, and he's shown that he's great with personnel. So I like this move. Now he's in charge. He can control everyone that he brings in. He can get every player at every position that he feels comfortable with, and he doesn't really have to answer to anyone. So he's a brilliant football mind, good friend of mine, and I'm just so happy for him. And I think he'll do great things for the Red Blacks.
Yeah, new location, more responsibility, but that also leaves a bit of a gap in Toronto. I did see today they were granted permission to speak with Mike O'Shea. There are some connections there. Are there any other names that kind of come to mind for you, Darian, as a good fit in Toronto who need some help?
Well, I look at Mike O'Shea and pinball as there being that Argo connection from, back in the day when they weren't Grey Cups together. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Kevin Iben or Jordan Younger, who's the defensive coordinator in Winnipeg, may be a name as well. So what I see from Toronto is they love to keep things in the family. Pinball is pretty tight with all the alumni and past players and staff from that Toronto Argo organization. So I wouldn't be surprised if they kept it in-house and hired one of their guys.
Absolutely, that makes sense. Okay, you going to be at the Grey Cup this week?
No, I won't be able to make it, but trust me, the Riders will hear me loud from Florida. I think I can't wait. I'm so happy for the guys and looking forward to a great game this weekend.
Yeah, it might be slightly warmer in Florida than it will be at Princess Auto Stadium. So
that's football weather, though.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
football
I know
weather
you
in
love
Winnipeg.
that.
It's definitely Rider football weather, and let's go get it done.
Love that, Darian Durant. Thank you so much for the time. Appreciate it as always.
Absolutely.